Welcome back. As you know by now, the jury hands down a verdict in the Amber Heard Johnny Depp defamation case. Both parties are on the hook, but Depp's getting the much bigger payout of about $15 million. Let's talk about the case with legal analyst Carlos Lastra joining us live tonight. Look, there was a high bar that Johnny Depp's legal team had to clear here to prove that there was damage here, that there was actual malice. Were you surprised the jury got to that point?
Absolutely. Thank you, first of all, Jim, for having me back again. Glad to be here tonight during this jury result to talk about this. I was quite astounded, frankly, because had the jury just been applying the jury instructions, they should have never gotten to this point. But in my 30 years of trying a number of civil and criminal jury trials, what I find is that juries tend to reach their decisions using their head, jury instructions. Does the evidence fit? Does it make sense? Their hearts. In other words, who do I want to provide justice to? And then their guts. In other words, who do I believe? Who can I rely on? And it seems like they really decided this case based on their hearts. They compared the evidence. Neither party came into court innocent. They both were at fault. So essentially the jury said, you know, you both defamed each other. And as a result, we're going to find, frankly, accordingly, a $10 million of compensatory for Johnny, $5 million, which I think impunitive, which is I think is the greatest statement here, and then $2 million for Amber. Now we're done. Move on with your lives, essentially.
So, you know, what really caught us off guard today, and I know a lot of people too, at 3 o'clock, when the judge came out and we assumed that they were going to get right into reading the verdict, and apparently the jury had not properly filled out the forms. They did not assign a dollar amount. So while we did not at 3 o'clock know who was going to be found liable, it seemed pretty improbable that the judge sends that jury out and says put a dollar amount on it, and that there wasn't going to be damages awarded. So that seemed like there was some confusion that could have been avoided there. Do you think maybe the jury didn't understand all facets of that response form they had to fill out?
I think so, and I think that's clear from what happened this afternoon with what you described, but also based on what happened yesterday, based on that question. If you recall, they sent a question down to the judge, first day back from the weekend, basically saying, what about this title? Is that part of the defamatory statements? And so that was puzzling. And the fact that they basically did the award that they did clearly shows that they, for all intents and purposes, ignored the instructions and felt with, hey, I'm going to compare who's worse, who's better. Yeah. And then they made a decision based on that. And I think what it comes down to is the punitive damages where the jury sends a message to Amber saying, look, you drew first blood. You shouldn't have done this. We found that you were defaming him on all three statements, Johnny Depp. But however, they also sent a message to Johnny, much lower message based on the amount awarded. And they basically said, look, you shouldn't have retaliated through your lawyer in the Daily Mail. You should have known better.
This saga is over, and I'm sure there's going to be another trial down the road, Carlos Lastra, that we're going to have this intense national interest. I don't know if it'll come anytime soon, but we appreciate the insight on it. Carlos Lastra joining us live tonight. Good to see you again.
Thank you for having me. Sure. Have a good night.